Welcome to the Obvious Podcast. This is episode number 50.
Fireworks.
We are so proud to bring you our 50th episode. So proud that we're going to skip telling you our names because we expect you to know them by now and who we are because you're on the podcast. You're watching the 50th episode of The Obvious. We will tell you that all opinions expressed are our own unless we say otherwise.
And we also want to ask you, if you love the show,
and you better,
to please subscribe on any major podcast platform or watch us in action on YouTube. Follow The Obvious Podcast on Instagram, X, and Truth Social. All the links are conveniently provided in the show notes. And reach out to us anytime at theobvious@abceastflorida.com. And if you're enjoying the ride, help others find us by leaving a review wherever you listen. Your reviews really help, and your subscriptions really help. So help spread the word. We've got some information on that, thanks to our Mr. Producer, right, for our 50th broadcast, where we're at, where we've come from.
So I found out today that half of all podcasts never make it beyond episode 3.
Amazing statistic.
Amazing.
Yep. A lot of people have great ambition, but they don't realize, which we were forewarned, about the effort, in maintaining, if you will,
a weekly podcast. Yeah, absolutely. But we have a great team and we have great chemistry, so we talk about what's interesting to us. And it's been. I don't want to say it's been easy, but it's been a wonderful journey to be on, and to meet the challenge has been very rewarding.
So Mr. Producer wrote some notes here I'm going to read. As of 2025, there are approximately 4.4 million podcasts globally. However, only 720,000, which is about 16%, have more than 10 episodes. Just 10. So only 16%. Fewer than 3.5%, which is about 156,000 globally, all right, are releasing new content on a weekly basis. So we, out of the gate, are part of 3.5% of existing podcasts. So of the active podcasts, only 1 in 5 have been active in the last 90 days. That's of the active ones.
Wow.
So we definitely have placed ourselves in elite company.
Yes, we are.
I think some of the
basically
data.
Joe Rogan and us.
So that's it. And watch out, Joe.
There's nobody
We're coming for you. So to me, the interesting thing that kind of testifies to this is some of the emails we get.
Yeah.
I think the data out there, they realize that we're in this company, that we're serious with the regular content, that we get invitations, obviously that are more.
People are asking us if they can be sponsors on our show.
Right,
that's crazy.
Right. So now speaking of that, maybe now's a good time to mention that we are going to start to seek actively sponsors for the podcast. Yeah. Product placement perhaps and names and at the beginning of the podcast and whatnot to help us continue.
This could be a Dunkin' Cup.
So exactly. So in any event, if any of you are interested in that, just give us an email, shoot us an email at theobvious@abceastflorida.com, and we'll be happy to get you some more data on that. So in any event, it's been a crazy wild ride. We're in kind of elite company in many ways in terms of our consistency, and even the numbers are quite impressive.
Yeah. Mr. Producer shared this with me. He said that only 10% of all podcasts make it past episode 20.
That's amazing.
Right? And so he's like, we're already in the 1% of all podcasts that are out there. I mean, that's pretty cool. And it's, again, thanks to our audience. Because, man, if nobody was watching this or listening to this, we wouldn't do it, because it's time and effort and an investment on our part to do this. So we're at the end of the day, it's you, the audience, that has made this possible, and we're grateful for you.
So, happy 50th.
Happy 50th, Peter. So it's been a lot of fun.
So what are we going to chat about today? We got some exciting news at ABC that every once in a while we like to fold in. Right? Yeah. So
absolutely. So as you know, our organization is chapter region runs from, what do you call it, MIMS?
MIMS, yes. A very small little city on the north end of Brevard County.
I wouldn't think you'd call it city, but maybe
that's true.
A village or a town. North of Brevard County. So Brevard County is that's where Cape Canaveral is, right? Mm-hmm. So where you see the NASA stuff, and then all the way down to the Keys. And our headquarters is in the suburbs of Fort Lauderdale, a town called Coconut Creek. That's where the show is filmed every week.
Our viewers know, because we've talked about it in the past, that we are, amongst many things, part of our value proposition is we're the single largest provider of apprenticeship education. In addition to the Institute, our education arm does, soup to nuts in terms of education needs for the industry, but obviously our bread and butter is apprenticeship education, which is, again, in the commercial construction side of things, you're not building the type of buildings our members build, the mid-rises and high-rises and the infrastructure, the schools and the fire stations and the shopping centers and the apartments and the condos.
So what kind of workforce would you need for that?
You need a very skilled workforce. So in any event, the apprenticeship is a very important, I think, component of our industry. And so apprenticeship is, I would say, half of that sandwich. The other half is the kind of jobs placement and our partnerships with various community partners and pre-apprenticeship programs and grants and whatnot. So in any event, that's people who have watched us know that's a big part of our value proposition. In Miami, we've had 2 training centers for a number of years that were leased space that we were kind of maxed out. We could not grow anymore. And plus, renting space in Miami can be a very costly proposition. So what people may not be as aware is we've actually been looking for property for a number of years because it's to do what we do has a very high parking to square foot ratio, if you will, when you're educating students. So it's we have sister chapters, by the way, that recently announced, buying Walmart's Supercenter, which, if you think about it, a lot of space and a lot of parking. And a few other chapters by another, large center. So this is a big part of ABC, whether it's here in South Florida or in other parts of the country. But we took a very big step recently. So
yes, so congratulations to you and to our team and our board and our staff. We closed on a 23,000 square foot building in Miami.
So we are going to be our, how's the saying go? We're going to be our own masters of our
own domain. Yep.
So moving forward, having this space is going to provide for growth of our apprenticeship program and enrollment for the foreseeable future.
So what will your new capacity be in the new building?
And we're going to share with our viewing audience on YouTube, so a sketch, if you will, of the build out of this building. So we went from kind of a capacity in our 2 leased facilities of about 300 per week, if you will, what we were able to educate to. If we do 5 days a week, we'll be able to go to about 1,060 students. If we do 6 days a week, going Friday as well, we could do up to 1,272 students.
Almost 1,300 students.
So almost 1,300 students. So to go from a capacity of 300 to that, I think we're providing for the foreseeable future in terms of growth. So, but it's much like, and I'm going to take, whether you call it borrow or steal, in the association and nonprofit business, we jokingly, call it stealing from each other's. Our sister chapter in Detroit, Southeast Michigan, they called it the Liberty Center.
Liberty Center.
I mean, I'd like to think that maybe what we're building is a similar Liberty Center, where we're going to have a boardroom and it's going to be a campus for our students with a student lounge and hopefully a gym,
showers. I mean, it's going to be spectacular.
Right. So in the huge lab areas, we'll hopefully be able to have. We recently talked about maybe even doing our own green room there and other spaces that we could also rent. Obviously, members oftentimes need meeting space. So in any event, we want it to be a center for Liberty for the Merit Shop and all of Miami, South Florida, and Hialeah. So we're going to put up the sketch so that you can see, the what we have vision-wise at this facility. Classroom-wise and the other things that we talked about. So we're very excited about it.
It's a real difference maker, certainly for the entire state in apprenticeship. And to be able to, I guess, future-proof our needs in terms of growth, right? Because, I mean, when you look at your P&L on any issue, right, property costs are always the biggest driver, that and labor. Then you're always, the one that fluctuates the most is real estate, especially if you're renting, because it's up to the landlord, right? Rents go up, expenses go up, insurance goes up, taxes go up. So being able to own our own building and to create that consistency for our P&L, for our people, for our teams, and then to really grow and have an impact for this industry and for this community. I think that's exciting. And to create something like that, that's our own home in Miami. I think it's a game changer, so as we celebrate our 50th episode, the Institute is 50 years old this year. I think the addition to this building and to ABC's portfolio, because we have, as an organization over years, done a really good job of owning and managing our own real estate really, really well. I think compliments to you as a manager on that side of the business, because, you wear so many hats at this organization.
So, Sonny, talk about the location first off. It's a pretty convenient location for.
Yep, it's in a suburb of Miami called Hialeah. It's on the western side of town. It's very, very close to Opa-locka Airport. So if you're flying private into Opa-locka, which most of them do, because Miami, it's very expensive to fly private into Miami, you can go into Opa-locka, and you're literally 3 minutes away from our building. It's close to the Gratney Highway. It's close to some amazing Cuban restaurants. I was there yesterday, had some really good Cuban food. I went with our government affairs director, and we don't speak Spanish, so we struggled until Alberto, our director of education, showed up and was able to help us order our lunch. And it's a beautiful building. It's 23,000 square feet. I mean, huge open spaces, ample parking. We're going to have a little video of it running in this episode as well for you, so you'll be able to see what we're talking about. And just it'll be, if not the largest, one of the largest apprenticeship programs, institutes in the entire state. And we're very, very excited about that, because that is a huge difference maker, for our people, because every student that goes through that program, it changes their life. I mean, the whole point of this is it changes their life. And we have so many stories where we have met people and seen people whose lives were, they became, at the Diplomat Hotel, their main engineer, chief engineer, was a graduate of ABC Institute. And the only reason I know that is because he tracked us down. We were having an event there. He saw the banner, recognized it. And I know it's a story I've shared before. And he talked to us, and he was like, it changed my life. And to do that on a larger and larger scale for our students, and of course to help our industry build more and more sophisticated structures that call for skilled trades,
right?
And that's our mission. That's what we've been.
Right. I think I've told the story, that 26 years ago when I first started, Dan Shaw, my predecessor, said, go meet with this gentleman. He was on our board. I think he may have been chairing the legislative committee at the time. And a big part of our conversation at lunch, the first lunch I had, was about workforce development and placement issues and the challenges this industry faces. And, he jokingly said, 25 years ago, we were talking about this, and 25 years from now, we'll probably be talking about it. And he wasn't wrong. And so if you ask members today what their number one challenge is, and certainly a lot of it's in the news right now, but, it's workforce development issues. It's attracting enough people in our industry, and then making sure those people, especially, again, on the commercial side of construction, we need a higher level of a skilled employee. So nobody's doing more, in terms of the volume and the quantity. Nobody's doing more in terms of our annual budget. When you consider the purchase of this investment, nobody's doing more.
Yeah.
So it's important to the industry. You've mentioned how it changes lives, so it's important to people's lives. It definitely transforms people's lives. I think it's also important to the state, and I think I want to shout out, to the state. I think in the last few years, our governor and the legislature have been very supportive through grant programs. We're hoping this year they're going to be additionally supportive in different ways that we have in mind, because we think they have been great partners and want to continue to be great partners, because apprenticeship is tremendous value to society.
Yep.
We know that an apprentice graduate, or we'll call them a journey person, is the equivalent of somebody who graduates with a bachelor's degree. And we know that according to the U.S. Department of Labor, a journey person makes more on average than someone with a bachelor's degree. And 100% of them are employed. When you understand what apprenticeship is, you're not graduating without being in employment. They have no student debt. And for those 4 years they were learning, they were also contributing taxpayers. So the return on investment for apprenticeship education is, I want to say, infinitely higher than
Yeah.
traditional higher education investments in the state of Florida. And again, I'm not belittling that investment. I think we've done a great job as a society, certainly in investing financially in those things. But the
If you're at all interested in the impact of apprenticeship, I would encourage you to go back and watch our episode on our graduation this year. That will be an eye-opening experience for you when you realize what an impact this program, the education, the workforce development aspect of ABC, and how powerful it is, not just for ABC but for society.
Yeah.
It's,
And we talk a lot about that graduation and how. In fact, recently when we had the Institute has one annual fundraising event for them. It's a bowling tournament, and kudos to the whole team.
time. Yes.
This year, I think it was our biggest ever. I think this was our third or fourth annual bowling tournament.
I do want to point out that we found a bowling alley with decent food. It's really
cold beer and decent food, not bad. And everybody was having a good time, and we had, I think, record attendance, record sponsorship.
40 lanes. We took over 40 lanes. That was amazing.
So, in any event, I spoke with somebody impromptu there who actually brought this up. He was talking about this is a participating employer, how graduation makes them, their company, their apprentices so proud the way ABC does it, because it says to them, and these were his words, the industry respects us.
Wow. That
the industry, plays that pomp and circumstance, puts them in a cap and gown, has VIP speaking. And this is for many of them, that's the only time in their lifetime they've had that kind of experience. So
never been a cap and gown.
To your point, I mean, it's changing lives, but again, it's meeting a need for the industry. What we want to do, I think our vision for this building is to kind of the way graduation shows them and reflects to them our level of commitment and appreciation for who they are and what they do. And that's, I think, our vision for this campus. It's going to be a true
flagship
education campus where the students can come. They're going to have a lounge. They can get some food. If they're coming right from work and they wanted to, they can shower. We're going to have a locker room with lockers and a gym if they want to work out. We're going to have dedicated, huge lab spaces dedicated to our various programs, and again, enough classroom space for the foreseeable future.
I mean, it's a $8.5 to $9 million investment for us, and we wouldn't do that if we weren't sure of the impact it's going to have.
Absolutely,
right? And it's something so exciting for us as an organization, but as an industry and as a community, that we get the honor to do something like this for people and watch their lives literally be transformed.
So we put up on those that are watching on YouTube, the screen, a sketch of the build out, so you can have an idea. But we also have an event we'd like to invite people to. They'd like
absolutely.
To come out.
September 10th, 11 a.m. It's a lunch event. It's plated 11 to 2.
We're going to have an open house and a dedication or a
groundbreaking ceremony.
So we do have, some, obviously it can be occupied today and actually used, but we, have some vision for building it out and making it that flagship campus, if you will, for our students, so.
Very exciting. So if you're interested in that, just shoot us an email and we will get you connected with the right people.
So episode 50 is kind of exciting.
Episode 50.
We end with, not only is it, 50 weeks or 50 episodes of, doing something that very few podcasts actually achieve.
99% apparently never get to this point.
So. And we're talking about, again, another groundbreaking achievement, if you will, for this organization. At the forefront of meeting one of the number one needs, that our industry has, which is workforce development and placement. So,
by the way, I'm sorry, one last point. None of these jobs can be taken away by AI.
That's right.
And there's been a lot of talk of just a bloodbath that's coming.
Yeah.
And these are careers and futures and roles that cannot be taken away by AI, right?
Won't be for the foreseeable future. And by the way, we welcome in this industry the advancement of technology and how it may benefit our industry. And I can see in the near future that maybe robotics or exoskeletal will assist in. I saw actually the other day in a masonry job where an actual machine was actually bringing the block or with power assist and laying it, on the wall. But a person, a craftsman, had to, place it and plaster it and
so
the
cool.
mortar it and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, we're an industry that I think was going to welcome technology advancements that will aid. But to your point, for the foreseeable future, you're not going to be able to do away with the skilled person that's doing the various functions in the different trades that we educate in. So come on out on the 10th. We'd love to give you an open house, show you the building, show you our vision. Congratulations on episode 50. Thank you all for being there. Thank you for listening and honoring us with your time. We look forward to sharing another episode with you next Friday.
For comments, send us an email at theobvious@abceastflorida.com.
All right.
Have a great day.
Until next time. Ciao.